Hi, I'm Manda McKay. I'm a professional artist and I'm making these videos with tips to help people enhance their creativity, whether they're just starting out with a creative hobby or whether they've been working on some sort of a creative practice for a long time. These tips are meant to be useful for everybody. Now for this tip, I want you to think about what it is exactly that you want. Are you able to express your intent about whatever project you're planning to work on? Are you able to articulate what it is that you're hoping to achieve? This is actually something very important for creativity. If you know what it is that what kind of an idea you're trying to come up with or what you want a project to turn out like, if you're able to put into words what you're hoping to achieve or what sort of a feeling you want to convey. And of course, you don't have to say these words out loud, but if you just know in your mind what it is that you're actually trying to do, that's going to really help you out with your creative practice. So one example might be that you want something, you don't have a lot of you aren't very sure yet of exactly what it is that you want, but whatever it is you're about to work on, you know that you want it to look chaotic, or if you're recording something, to sound chaotic. And that's still pretty vague. How do you make something look chaotic? How do you make something sound chaotic? But if you just know that, okay, you want the result to seem somehow chaotic, then that will really help steer you in the right direction, and it will also help you avoid different things that might come across as calm, which is sort of the opposite of what you're going for. And you can be as specific as you want with this as you're trying to come up with an idea or how to express your idea. The more detailed you can be, then probably the easier it will be to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so I'll give you a current example that I'm working on. I'm working on a massive project that's probably going to wind up taking 2 years called the Feral Feminist Field Guide. And it's going to have paintings and sketches in it and text, but I want it to have various puzzles for people to figure out. And I want there to be there will be individual puzzles just on individual pages, but I want there to be sort of a master puzzle that's going to go throughout the entire thing. And I haven't figured out yet what that's going to be, but I have a good idea of what I want it to express. So I want this master puzzle to be an empowering message that kind of sounds like a spell. So something empowering, maybe a little bit mystical sounding, and that would have to be kind of long because I want it to go through this entire field guide. And then part 2 of that, I want the overriding master puzzle to have a puzzle within it that's going to be much, much shorter. And I want that smaller puzzle to be something about something rebellious in a political sense, basically. Now, I still haven't figured out what these 2 puzzles are going to be, but I think you can see how, knowing that, well, I want it to sound, be something empowering and sound a little bit like a spell, that would help steer me in the right direction versus before I had that concept where it's just like, okay, what can I say? I mean, it was going to have to be something about feminism or nature, but that was still very, very wide open. And I think you can see how being able to articulate exactly what I want this to say it has brought me probably 20 steps closer to actually being able to figure out this puzzle. And then, of course, knowing that I want it to condense down to the shorter puzzle and what I want that one to say. So I have to make the 2 work together. But obviously, like I said, this is 20 steps closer than just having almost no idea at all of what I wanted to do, what I wanted these puzzles to actually say or mean. So whatever it is that you're wanting to work on, think about, can you articulate what it is that you want to express with these projects? And it's okay if it's vague. Like I said, that's from the first example of looking or sounding chaotic. That is still very helpful. And of course, if you can get something way more detailed, like my own example, then that's going to help you out even more. And this really is something important with being able to be creative consistently, I think, is that you have some kind of idea what it is that you're shooting for. So anyway, I hope you found this tip to be useful. Let me know in the comments. Again, my name is Amanda McKay, and thank you so much for watching.